Hello, everyone. Today we continue exploring modern art styles, and we are talking today about Expressionism, and we're going to experiment painting in it, of course. So very briefly, just what Expressionism is about. And in this way, I wanted to maybe just a little bit make a comparison with Impressionism that we just did recently. So then it's maybe easier to capture what Expressionism is about. Yeah. Let's say the main differences. So we know that Impressionism, Post-Impressionism, it was mainly born in France. But Expressionism was actually born in Germany. And it was also active in such countries as Austria and also Norway. We're going to look at one famous artist from Norway. So both of these styles, they are colorful, totally. Yeah. But let's say if Impressionism, like, of course, maybe it's not that really good to say, but Impressionism goes more being beautiful. And Expressionism often refers a little bit as ugly. I will explain more on this, and so we remember Impressionism, the artist started going painting outside. That was something new. Yeah, that's something called plein air. That's when you take your paints and you go and sit outside and you paint nature. And they would learn a lot about color theory and shadows. So it was really new, beautiful style. So they want to create new impressions. So they still would paint like real life. They still would draw like some nature or people, just in some new colorful way. And this is the main difference in Expressionism. The artists, they actually were not painting real life. I mean, they would picture people, also animals, but mainly they would draw their feelings. So actually, they wanted to express themselves. And here we can remember this style by expressing. So it was the feelings that were coming out of the artist. They would like to put it on paper. And I would like to talk a bit more about this ugly word. It just happens to be like this, that in this moment, the artists were expressing bad feelings because it was the time before the First World War. And this is why it was all very bit like anxious, scared, worried. And I'm going to show you the most famous Expressionist artist. I'm sure you're going to guess. And here is also his self-portrait. Yeah, you remember the famous...
Did the painting, but I forget his name.
Okay, yes. I'm happy you remember. That's very famous painting. It's true. So the painting is called The Scream. And this is a painter from Norway. Yes, and his name is Edvard Munch. Yeah, Edvard Munch. And so here we see that he is expressing a very terrified emotions, both by this person here and the sky, these reddish lines there. So this is, what this style is about. Cool. So we are here to experiment ourselves. Here I prepared some paintings also in Expressionism style. You see here is a cow It's a blue cow by one painter, a woman. And she was friends with this artist, Franz Marc. He did this colorful bull. So actually we can see they're a bit similar, those paintings. Yeah, so animals and bunch of colors in this expressive way. Yeah, the same, also this horse belongs to this painter. So the same, Franz Marc, they are together. So my proposition today is that we take our nice and here realistically drawn deer that I think we also did it once, maybe for Christmas or something. Yeah, we also were hanging some, I think, Christmas toy. Yeah, and we're gonna try to make it today in Expressionism style. So we remember all bunch of colors. But of course, we can decide what emotions we are putting there. So it doesn't have to be as in those times, yeah, in 1910, 14. It was, no, they had own stories, but we can choose. So first, what we're gonna do is usually we're gonna take pencil, eraser, and we're just gonna draw the deer. What's good today that it doesn't have to be really perfect. Yeah, exactly because this expressionism style doesn't require it to. Yeah, you ready to start, girls? Okay, I see Ellie joining. Ellie, you have your pencil? Yeah, cool. Okay. So, we see this line where the head starts, and it's pretty much the middle of the paper. Yeah, so it's a good hint for us, somewhere in the middle of the paper. We're gonna put the line, and then we know that up is going the upper part, and the head is going down. So then we can leave like a little bit like as if it's a tree or something. So we can plan the, I forgot the word, horns or going up. Yeah, but we're gonna come back to them later. Yeah, then first we're gonna go slowly down on the head. Yeah, then very nice big ears. Let's say if you don't have enough space, you can also make that the ear is not really ending. Yeah, so it's like a bit outside the paper is also fine. Yeah, and the other side, the ear is going actually up. That's nice. You see, I'm simplifying very much the deer. And the deer has turned his face to the sides. Actually, we see just one eye. Also easier to us to draw. So basically, next we need kind of really find this line of the nose coming out. And it's like next to the ear. One very good way to find where it is, it's like you imagine you prolong this diagonal line and you see where it's coming out. So if I prolong it, oh, nice, it's coming out there where the antlers in the head, they meet. Yeah. So this is like a little trick to to check where the line is. Yeah, and it's gonna be ending in a circle with the nose. Let me know if I'm going too quickly. The nose, so you have to also imagine. So it's like a sphere. And it's gonna have, let's say, the upper part, and it's gonna have like the frontal and the side. Like generally it's all round, but still you're gonna have, so like when we show this, then we get the feeling of the nose being so we can show, let's say, the upper part a bit more lighter, and then it's going to be somewhere also the hole where the nose is breathing. So nice. Okay, and then sometimes it's also good to go from both sides. So let's say I went from here to the nose. Now I can go from another ear down. Yeah, and then I'm kind of, it's easier for me to finish maybe the whole mouth part. And yeah, and then I'm doing here like a little bit double line under the nose. And part of the mouth. Very important line will be also this one. It seems like a little bit not so strong because it's behind, but still this line is important because it shows us the movement of the body. Then we kind of understand, like there is here will be his body and just the head is turned. So yeah, like when we don't have this line, then it feels like a bit in the air. Yeah, once we put it, it feels already more stable.
I'm ready to move on.
Oh, sure. Okay, cool. You're quick today. Okay, and basically from the head, we need just an eye, but of course it's important to place it correctly. So we already have this part next to the ear, and basically we need to put a straight line. Yeah, we check here the eyes are on one line. So we know the eye should be somewhere here, like it should be somewhere here on this line. Yeah, but like how much far away? Yeah, I can, again, from this eye, I can draw a vertical line up and I see, it's actually somewhere again where the head part meets the contours. So somewhere here it's gonna be, yeah. So I'm trying to place the eye. What else I can check? I can check, of course, let's say how far away is the nose, and also this space from the eye till the end of the head. And I see, it's actually bigger. I think my eye should be more closer to the nose. Yeah, so it's like this. And how to do realistic eye? We always need this white part. Yeah, it's called highlight. And it's because this part of the eye of animals and also in humans. It's a little bit like the material it's made from like half transparent. And this is why the light reflects there. And then we all get this white spot. But basically this white spot is just from the light. And so let's say if there would be like 2 lamps in the room, sometimes then you can see the 2 spots. Yeah? Nice. Yes, so place your eye. If you're happy, we continue. If not, move your eye till the moment you think it's kind of, yeah, then it's also like you can sit back and then.
I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay. Okay, the antlers. Well, I don't think it's will be hard. I think it's already the easier part of the. Yeah, so we already have the start, and then we can do the, let's say, the outside. This first one and the one from inside. Yeah, so these 2, let's say, it's a little bit like a hand. Looks like this. Yeah, it can be. And then like from the inside, it grows one more. And it's even like it can cross the other one, it's fine. Can be even bigger. So my one again not entering the paper. Yeah, it's better, let's say, make it the way that it's out rather than make it smaller. So then still the feeling is that the antlers of deer are big. And rather than squeezing them into the paper. Okay. Yeah. And the other one, we can try to do the same. So it's always a good way, like to mark the ending. So let's say the most left part, and then I go and check, okay, what's the most right part? And then all I need to do is kind of to fill in between. Yeah, I always prefer this method rather than going, let's say, yeah, from left and to building to one side. But it's kind of nice. You limit yourself from both sides, and then you just need to fill in what's inside. Yeah, it's okay if something doesn't get in. Okay. Cool. So take your time to finish, and I'm just gonna talk a little bit. So remind about our Expressionism style. I will also put back the other colorful drawings for us as inspiration. And then also remind, so what's Expressionism was about? It's about intense feelings that are shown through the color. So it's really personal. So it's really about the emotions that artist wants to express. Yeah, that's the word Expressionism goes. So actually, Expressionism is not depicting the physical reality. It shows emotions and feeling. Yeah, so the artist tries to express himself. Doesn't sound like an easy task, but of course we're here to experiment and we just try how it goes. Yes, and of course we can then try to play and feel with the colors. Yeah, we have also color wheel to help us. So we can ask ourselves, okay, how I feel today? Or what, maybe it's not about how I feel now, maybe generally, what feeling I want to show. And then I try to understand what colors I can show it with. Yeah, and usually, let's say, the orange, the yellow, of course, the sun colors. Yeah, it's about the happiness. The red color is always a little bit, it can be on both sides. It can be showing love, but it can be also fire. So it's also something to consider. Yeah, so if you show maybe a lot of red, in which shape you show it, and so on. Bluish, yeah, are considered to be, of course, cold. And we remember Picasso, he had his blue period when he painted very sad and melancholic paintings, yeah. Green, again, it can be different. Like nowadays, maybe green is associated with nature, of course. So, yeah, we can try to think about the colors. And I suggest you maybe you pick one or two colors that speak to you now mostly. Yeah, that speak to you most to your feeling today. And on my side, I will pick orange, red, maybe also yellow. Yeah, so again, we don't have to do sad or angry or scary art as the Expressionists did. They did this way just because it was those times of pre-war, and some painters were even fleeing from Europe to United States. So of course those times were uneasy. Okay, we pick up, let's say, your favorite color or your color you want today. So it's really, we're trying to follow Expressionism style by showing our feelings, our emotions with color. And the way we can paint. So you can also take a glimpse a little bit on these paintings here of Franz Marc. Yeah, also kind of also geometrical. Yeah. So pretty much you really can go playful about it. And you can start anywhere. So it's really, really trying to make our dear express some feeling. And you can also definitely go outside the lines. and it doesn't have to be perfect. And we can make outlines. And this is also something, let's say, to play with today. Red ears I'm putting. What would it mean? Maybe he feels blushing. What I also like to do is fun technique. Let's say once you have your colors on a palette, you take the brush and you pick up like half brush, you take one color. Let's say half brush, I take yellow, and some part I take red. So basically, I don't mix the colors on the palette, but I'm gonna mix them on the paper. So here is my brush filled with yellow and red. And now when I'm gonna be moving, it's gonna be painting to like in parallel. And it's nice. Ooh, looks now a little bit like Spanish flag. So maybe my deer is trying to pretend to be a bull and participate in a Spanish corrida. I'm already inventing some stories. What colors have you chosen, girls, to start with?
I think I'm gonna do like orange and red at the top, and then it's gonna get like darker and stuff. Cause I couldn't choose between like doing like blues and purples and stuff, or like orange and yellow and like red and stuff. So I wanted to do both.
Oh, nice.
I'm sort of gonna do like, I'm doing some blue and yellow, but then also some purple.
Nice. Sounds good. Remember also we have background, so we can also use either opposite colors for background or also some way play it in. Purple definitely is the color that I'm also gonna use. I'm also taking some pink. Other thing that you can play with, so not just putting colors, but also the way you are putting them. And you can use, let's say, stripes, but maybe you want to use also some a bit like dotting, or so you can play with the brush, yeah, putting some areas differently. So now my idea, I'm gonna put pink color as the base. So maybe my deer will be pink in the end. Yeah, this is a good idea. So his base color will be pink. And then on top, I can play with some purple. And here, of course, still I think which colors kind of match. Yeah, so we know that pink is very good also with orange. Pink is good with yellow, with red. And then violet is also mixing well there. And of course, if I would go there with green, then either I need to think that they don't mix, because otherwise then we know that we're gonna get some brownish thing. Here I put back the drawing of the deer. We can also maybe follow a little bit the shadowing. So still it gives a little bit the feeling of the volume of the shape of the deer. So let's say the nose, yeah? Again, as I was telling about the side, so it has the frontal part and it has the side. So we can also show it just with different colors. Yeah, so it gives the feeling of the structure. Let's call it this way. Yeah, and also let's say, and the antlers, you can see they're not flat, they're round, they have volume shape. So again, like one side will be a bit more darker than the other. And like this, we show the shadowing. So my expression today is, I don't know, I would call it playful. My dear is feeling cheerful and playful today. And maybe the background, I will actually do like a rainy day. And this will be like a bit the topic of feeling playful, even, I don't know, with the bad weather or something like this. So you see, painters, they can put lots of different emotions and feeling into their paintings. And of course, not always we know what like they have coded there. So sometimes we go to the painting and we don't really understand it. And it's normal, yeah, because we just don't know. And so either, I don't know, we can read about this painter. If we are in the museum, maybe the information about the painting tells us a bit more. And sometimes we can interpret it really our way. You can also think, maybe you want to do something interesting with the eye. Yeah, maybe it can also give some hidden meaning to your painting. So basically the color, yeah, the main lab used pink, light purple, and dark purple. And of course, for the eye, still I'm using dark, so I'm not using black, but dark purple. Well, because of course we are get used to have the eyes dark, but you can experiment, and if you make it light and then see how it looks, it will definitely look unusual, but maybe it can also tell something. Maybe I should think something interesting to do with antlers. Maybe put some dots in there. Okay, I'm gonna finish the basic shadowing. Nice. Now I think I will try to create the effect of the rain, but not in realistic, but in a symbolistic way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some bluish greenish paints, some different different tones. So I have like dark blue, my favorite emerald. Then I have turquoise. I have green. And I have another dark blue. And then I'm gonna take, I think, a pointy brush so I can create the like a drops. This is an experiment, so hopefully it turns out well. And I'm gonna start with the light color, so then it's easy to correct in case it doesn't go well as planned in my head. And I'm gonna be doing the drops also on top of the deer. And definitely doing the different size. And so then I'm gonna have one color. And then I will try to do bunch of them. And this is really something that just now came into my mind. And I think in this way, Expressionism is fun. Because of course, when we are drawing realistically, it's basically we can't move a lot far away. And that's why we are discovering in this modern art styles, all the other ways artists were experimenting with art. Okay, I have one drops. Now I'm gonna change the color. Let's go for some a bit darker ones. Well, I must say, till now, I like how it's turning out. I think, well, at least definitely I can call it expression. That was the aim of today's experiment. And definitely being brave and placing some drops on top of the deer so that it gets the effect. He is inside the rain. So if you like the idea, girls, of course, you can also use the idea of the rain. If maybe you already have your own idea for the background, go ahead. Yeah, like for example, in this painting I have here, so this bull of Franz Marc, we see it feels like he's inside of some bushes. Yeah, all those, the background consists of these Sharpie lines, different directions. On the other hand, the cow, the blue cow is just around shapes of flowers and grass. That's also cool. One can make.
I think I'm done with mine.
Wow, that was really quick. I'm excited to see how it turned out. And maybe you can also tell a little bit, hey, that's an expressionism style. So awesome, Juliet. He's so blue. I love the nose.
It started dripping.
Yeah, I got it. Maybe you want, if you want, please share about your drawing, like maybe the
It's
choice
sort
of.
of like being sad and happy at the same time, but like also I added the pink sort of like because it sort of also represents happiness to me. So it was sort of like a combination of sad and happy.
Oh, I totally love your drawing. Being bright. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. Juliet, you have your artist signature?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to dry.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, this one definitely worth finding and placing, finding its place on the wall. Nice. So next time, I propose we talk and experiment in the style of Fauvism. Sorry. Fauvism was kind of in between Impressionism and Expressionism. Let's say even the people who study art history and create all these chronologies, they would say that Expressionism, so what we were doing today, took a little bit the inspiration from Fauvism, just changed the motion. Fauvism, and we're going to explore the painter, the French painter Henri Matisse. And what was special about his paintings, what he said about his paintings, that the main goal he wants is that his paintings are bringing joy. So the way he painted was really just happy. And it was lots of colors, also sometimes a bit bold. So he was actually like ignoring the shape. So if he would paint an apple, he wouldn't do this shadowing, that one side is lighter, the other side is darker. He would just use some bold red, orange color, and he would just place it there. So This was fauvism. It was, again, another experiment about going far away from the shape and even more closer to the colors. Yeah, so remember this, let's say, little conflict between shape and colors in this part of history when I said about this, the photo camera was invented. So the people started taking pictures, and of course, for the artists, it was a huge thing happened, and that's why the artists started doing more in the color area rather than the shape and the form. Cool. Okay, I think I'm gonna not overdo with my rain.
I think I'm done.
Yes, I was waiting for Ellie to say that. And I'm totally curious to see how your day looks like. Wow, I love the mix going from red to greenish and down to this bluish. Wow, girls, your theirs they look amazing. I love them more in mine one.
I tried to do like rainbow because like it's kind of like more happy. I think it's a little bit sad, but like still kind of happy.
Super. Oh, that's such a cool idea. Of course, just use the rainbow colors. Nice. Well, good job, Ellie. Yeah, also wait till it's dry, then you can put your signature there. And I think,
It's pretty much dry except for the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
Bottom, but it's not really wet. It's like kind of like a thicker layer of paint.
Yeah,
'Cause I kept trying to do the mixing.
sure. Hey, such a beautiful artworks you got today. Cool. I'm gonna take off the tape of mine. So then I'm also officially finished. So this was our experiment, learning another new style. Cool, was happy to see you girls. And then I see you next week. And we're gonna experimenting with the fauvism.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you as well. See you next time.